Hey, what's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here. Let's keep this train rolling. It is part 3 of our 4-part series, and I literally just finished part 2. It's uploading right now. It's going to take like 2 hours to upload, so by the time this is up, it should hopefully be available for everybody to watch. Well, actually, it will be. Duh. Obviously. That was stupid. I'm not even going to start over, though. I don't care. I deserve to be laughed at for that. So, in any event, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your support. And thank you for being awesome. Let's just get right into it, because these videos are pretty long, and I have to talk a lot. So, right now we've got Star-Lord. This is part 3. So, if I go back up to the top, that was part 1. That was part 2. And Part 3 starts out with Magneto's acolyte. So last video I had Star-Lord kind of tagging along. This video I figure Deadpool's everybody's favorite. He's going to tag along. So this is one of Magneto's acolytes. She shoots electricity, or actually she might do magnetic stuff. That would make a lot more sense. Some of the acolytes in his little area do fire and stuff like that too. So, let's see. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to waste a lot of time with her because she's boring. Malekith. Malekith. I don't know how to pronounce him. So this is kind of like a classic Thor character that they're bringing back for the movie. I love the way he looks. I think he's just a cool looking character. He kind of has his little fireball thing, which is weird because he's like a frost giant, I think. If I know in the last video I said if you're not reading Thor the God of Thunder, you need to like punch yourself in the face, and this is definitely why right here. It's pretty deep into the series. I think at this point they're like 15 or 16 books in. But the God Killer stuff was awesome. But he's finally back in the God of Thunder book, and he is just insane. He is such a great character. I'm really, really I was already looking forward to Thor. By the way, his B and circle button do nothing for him, so this is all he really does is shoot fireballs, and then hold that little fireball in the air. I'm already really stoked for Thor: The Dark World. But I'm even more excited just having read, Thor, God of Thunder, and kind of getting to see what he's like. Just really such a great and awesome character. Just very psychotic and crazy, killing his own people. Yeah, so you don't get him until way into the game. You have to have 200 gold bricks. You have to do the Brotenheim mission, and he's basically who you fight. And once you finally finish his level, that's when you can unlock Deadpool. So the synergy between these two guys is there. Next up, we have Mandarin. And there's 2 versions of Mandarin. This is the classic Mandarin. Obviously, the Mandarin that I prefer. He's got his rings in his hand. So that's pretty cool. He is an acrobat. So if you want an acrobat that does fire stuff, there you go. And he also shoots fire with the generic fire circle. And he puts his rings away. So that's cool. I like the way they did the animation where he's not actually wearing the ring, but he holds the ring. So that's definitely pretty cool. Mandarin's obviously such a classic Iron Man character. Then there's the film version of the Mandarin. The version where they chop his balls off and make him a joke. Just a waste of Ben Kingsley. He is not an acrobat because obviously he's just an actor, and all he does is punch people. Like, that's it. Because in the movie he's an actor, and I'm sorry if I spoiled any of Iron Man 3. That is one of the most, that's on par, not quite exactly, but it's on par for me with what they did to Deadpool in the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie. Like, that's obviously the worst thing that, has ever happened to a comic book character in a movie. Like, I understand that they change things in the movies to make them fit the movies. making Kingpin and Nick Fury black, stuff like that. I can deal with that. Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace. Uh, I guess I could kind of deal with that, but like, what they did to Mandarin here was just it fit the movie, but like I feel like there's a lot of lost opportunity there. In any event, because this game kind of caters a lot to the movies, they have Mandarin as an alternate skin. I don't want to waste any more time with it. Mary Jane Watson, she's got boobs, and she's got a Spider-Man heart T-shirt, and she punches stuff, and that's it. I understand why they have to have her in the game, kind of like Aunt May, but I just feel like it's a wasted character. She struts her stuff there. I don't know. Maybe the Spider-Man fan out there will be excited that they have Mary Jane Watson, but I just feel like it's a character they could have left out. Mastermind. He's got telekinesis, I thought, but I guess not. Wow. I didn't... So honestly, this is the first time I've used him. I don't even think I made a video for him. And he literally does nothing. So, moving on. Mini Sentinel. Again, kind of like Galactus and kind of like the Destroyer. I understand why they did minifigures. I don't know why he doesn't fly. Or at least hover. That's kind of stupid. He does shoot fire, a laser out of his eyes, which is apropos. And he shoots him by pressing B circle. He really should fly. I mean, Sentinels fly, or they hover, or they do whatever. But obviously, it doesn't make sense to make him a Hulk type figure, because that's not what a Sentinel is. But I didn't really use him much in the game at all. So you unlock him in Columbus Circle. He's kind of like right in the middle. You have to fight him, and then you unlock him. Columbus Circle, for those wondering, is right here. This is where you unlock him, right near the circus. Just give me 1 second here. Alright. So, that's where you unlock him. That's not what I meant to do. MODOK. Now, I love MODOK. I didn't use him that much, but like he's a fun character. And he's kind of got the hover thing going on. And he shoots the lasers out of the little dot on his head. And he does this with the fire. It looks like he's farting. Look at him. Look at that face. Looks like he's constipated. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can flame up Deadpool. Nope. He does fight and punch and kick. All that stuff. So, MODOK is a fun little character. And I think he gets like mad and angry. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, MODOK's fun. I think they did a really good job with MODOK. So that's definitely a great character. I didn't use him that much. If I was doing a lot of free play stuff and I really just wanted to show off, cool looking characters, I probably used them a little bit more. Moon Knight. My brother is a huge Moon Knight fan. Shout outs to Sasquatch, aka Eric Shockblast, who, if you are a fan of our videos, made 100% my best video, has almost 4 million views, is my Amazing Spider-Man video that I have. And it was 100% his idea. He's a huge Moon Knight fan, so I've been a Moon Knight fan, or I followed Moon Knight because of it. Mark Spector is basically Marvel's Batman.
Isn't he amazing?
It's what he is. There's no two ways around it. He's Marvel's Batman. They have tried so hard on so many occasions to make him more popular, and people just aren't buying it. So, it is what it is. With that said, he does throw his little moon pendant. I feel like there's a little bit of missed opportunity because He could have been like Daredevil and had like his, staff or baton, and still thrown the kind of like moon boomerang things. But whatever. He's a really cool looking character. I really just like the way he looks. I know he's just a plain white character, but he looks awesome. So I know a lot of people were kind of excited when I posted the first Moon Knight video. I think there's a character token somewhere in the city for him. I don't remember at this point off the top of my head. Miss Marvel. Who doesn't love Miss Marvel? I'm pretty sure she's banging everybody in the Marvel Universe. I just saw a picture of her kissing Hyperion. Like, yeah, okay. I know she was sleeping with Iron Man at one point. She's a really cool character. They've got a lot going on with her right now, and I haven't been following it enough, but I think she was kind of like going crazy. She does obviously fly, and she does fire stuff. She is essentially kind of like, Supergirl for Marvel. Shoots fire. Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, whatever you want to call her. And she's got her little icon there. Kind of looks like the Flash, his little logo. So there we go, Miss Marvel. Now this is one of the coolest characters in the game, Mysterio. I love the vibe that he has. He's got this evil, like, melodramatic laugh. And I love just, like, the steam that comes out of him. It's really cool. I really feel like they did a great job with him. And he does go invisible. I might have missed that before. I want to get out of the dark here. So, part of making videos is just being aware of how the video actually looks. And, obviously we've got lots of shadows over there. That's part of the reason, if you're wondering why I've been going to some nondescript backgrounds like this. There we go. So it's just better lighting. So there we go. He does also, shoot this smoke. I think this counts as the power cosmic. And, you unlock him kind of late in the game. After, I think, 175 gold bricks. So I didn't use him nearly as much as I probably would have. But, he's a really awesome character. I would say one of the best, at least the top 10 in the game, as far as I'm concerned. And I was never really a Mysterio fan by any means. Mystique, another fan favorite. A lot of people were asking for Mystique. She shoots her guns. And when you press B or circle, she turns into a cop. Eventually. Or maybe you have to hold down B. So, a missed opportunity here. Like, I get why they have her turn into a cop. It fits in the story. It would have been cool if, like, whenever you held down B, she just turned into a random character. But, whatever. I guess turning into the cop is not that big of a deal. She's pretty cool. Looking forward to X-Men Days of Future Past. Obviously, she's going to be in that. Nightmare is a pretty cool character. He's got this, like, yellow or green, like, gas coming from him. He has a generic circle. Could have at least made it green. He does shoot, I believe this is electricity. So he shoots that.
I've been playing video games.
I am going to assume this is a Ghost Rider character. Because Ghost Rider is kind of who defeats him in the circus mission. Not a character I really know a whole lot about. But, he's a cool looking character. He jumps so he doesn't fly. Not somebody I use too often, but he's cool looking. Alright, so I spent a lot of time talking about Deadpool. Let me spend some time talking about this guy right here. Probably one of my top 3 favorite comic book characters. I understand Nova Corps is basically Marvel's Green Lanterns. But I love me some Nova. And not that little brat Sam Alexander, I love me some Rich Rider. I feel like Marvel invested so much time in Nova and Rich Rider, and spoiler alert, you can skip ahead about a minute or two if you don't want to be spoiled with the Thanos imperative, starting about now. Um, Rich Rider is currently believed to be dead, even though Thanos, in some of the books, has made reference to him. And as we all know, nobody ever stays dead in the Marvel Universe. So I anticipate him finally coming back soon. The bad part about it, though, is we've got this kid, Sam Alexander, posing as Nova. And it drives me nuts because they basically took one of my favorite characters and they turned him into a little kid. And for that, I'm pretty upset. I have been upset. I've railed about it for a while. I'm railing about it now. I like the fact that they don't distinguish whether this is Sam Alexander or Rich Rider. So to me, it's Rich Rider. It just drives me nuts because when Nova died, Star-Lord died with him, and Thanos died with him. And obviously, both Star-Lord and Thanos are back. And in Guardians of the Galaxy, there is a reference, I believe, when Star-Lord is talking to Thanos at one point, that of the fact that both of them were supposed to have died in the Cancerverse. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Rich Rider. I don't know where he is. I really hope they bring him back because to me he is Nova. I've given Sam Alexander a chance, and he's a good enough character and everything. And you could have made him a member of the Nova Corps, and that would have been fine. I really feel like I just don't understand why they had to change the Nova character to put him in Ultimate Spider-Man and make him a little kid. Because there's a lot of people, younger, kids or whatever that watch that cartoon and have no idea who Rich Rider is. And I know Rich Rider isn't even the original Nova, but, for me, I feel like they've invested a lot in him. And I bought every book, like his Nova run that they did, where he had such a hand in so many of the Universal events. He was such a soldier during the Annihilation. Like he pretty much single-handedly took out the Annihilation waves and Annihilus. He started the Annihilators, which was him, Silver Surfer, Beta Ray Bill, Star-Lord, Ronan the Accuser, and I feel like there was one other person. I mean, they were just a group so powerful. Might have been Drax the Destroyer. They were a group that was just so powerful that they would only assemble for Annihilation Wave type events. Just such I loved that little book run. I could wax poetic about Nova for a while. Rich Rider, one of my favorite characters in all comics. Like I said, I think I rank him just behind Deadpool at this point. And it's such a crazy story because when I was growing up, there's a character called Darkhawk, who's been in Avengers Academy. Don't get me started on that either. I feel like Marvel took a big dump on two of my favorite characters. And I happen to be at my favorite comic book shop, which is That's Entertainment in Worcester, Massachusetts. And I was looking, and they had a Nova comic book out that had Darkhawk on the cover. It's pretty early on in the series, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome. And I went back and looked at the graphic novels, and he was on the cover of his Nova graphic novel number 3, or maybe it was 4. And I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, I'm gonna kick myself if I buy this and I really end up liking it because I'm gonna be so far behind in the story. So I ended up buying every Nova graphic novel and read all of them up until it. And then I just bought everyone after. So that's how I became such a Nova fan. He was such a great character that I wanted to I just fell in love with him during his storyline. Also, I went back and bought all the Annihilation stuff. He was huge during Secret Invasion. I mean, Rich Rider did so much for the Marvel Universe. And I hope there's a big grand plan to bring him back, but we'll see. So, excuse me. That's my rant on Nova. And next up we have Pepper Potts, who, is Pepper Potts. I understand and appreciate why she is in here. Obviously, with Iron Man 3 on DVD and Blu-ray, they need to sell it. She doesn't do anything in particular. Where they save it, like where this is different from Aunt May and Gwen Stacy, who I really just wish were not in the game. What's different about Pepper Potts is she has rescue. And I didn't know that her version of Iron Man was called Rescue. I probably should have known that, but I didn't. And she does all the Iron Man stuff. But I think this is really a cool part of the game. Especially if you're, she does the robot. Especially if you're like a girl gamer, or a girl comic book fan. I feel like a lot of female comic book fans, gravitate towards a lot of the female characters. And, this is an opportunity to play as Iron Man as a girl, which is pretty cool. And that's not meant to be like a sexist remark. It's just something that I've noticed, and it's completely fair. There you go. There she is. She's Pepper. So I really feel like this is a great part of the game, having rescue. So that's awesome. Polaris. A lot of people were excited about Polaris. She's a member of the X-Men. And I think when you finally unlock her is when you unlock the X-Men achievement. Obviously, she does the Magneto thing, and she has magnets. You get her pretty late in the game after you do the raft raid. She's basically just a clone of Magneto. But that's okay. I mean, it's nice to have like an alternate, Magneto or Magnet character. It's not really a character that I know a whole lot about, but because I'm not really a big X-Men person. But she's cool, and I'll switch to her instead of Magneto when I'm playing and need somebody that does something magnetic, just to kind of switch it up a little bit. Power Man is technically a big character, so he does everything like the Hulk, or Juggernaut, but he's just a smaller character. Obviously, they have Power Man instead of Luke Cage, because this is how he looks in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. I know enough about that to know that. So, I feel like it should have been Luke Cage, or there should have maybe been like a Luke Cage skin, but, c'est la vie. Obviously, member of Heroes for Hire. So, if you're a big fan of the cartoon, you can probably have him run around with Iron Fist and be happy. Professor X obviously has his wheelchair, and he kind of like telepathically, instead of punching people, he does his telepathic kind of thing. He is a telepath, and he does do that, but that's about it. He waves his hands in the air when he jumps. Not a character I use too often, but I think they did a pretty cool job, making him do what he does. He looks cool. He's fun. Psylocke. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me, I was smart enough to mute the microphone. Psylocke's really cool. Member of X-Force. Right now, I think she is part of either Uncanny Avengers or not Uncanny Avengers. I don't know if it's Uncanny X-Force or Uncanny X-Men, which book it is, or maybe it's just X-Men. There's a book that they have which is just all female characters. It's like Psylocke and Storm. Actually, that's not true because Puck is in it, which is really random. But it's mostly female characters, like Psylocke and Storm and a couple other people I can't think of off the top of my head. I think, what's her name? Jubilee comes back for it. with a baby. So, in any event, she's got her telepathic powers, which is pretty cool. She could be a bit more of an acrobat. I feel like she's every bit the acrobat that Black Widow is. She's also got her like power energy sword, which is really cool. And I like the kind of sparkles that come out whenever she uses it. So, Psylocke is pretty cool. The Punisher. Frank Castle himself. Obviously, he's got lots of guns. He gives you missions where you do stuff, chase after people, and destroy like Roxxon trucks and stuff like that. He just kind of poses like that. One of the cool things that he does have is he has his own vehicles in the game. And I know I haven't shown off all the vehicles, but I am going to do it for him because he actually has 2 vehicles. And you unlock them as you unlock him. So, first of all, he has... where is it? Alright, the Punisher's car, which is kind of like a hot rod. It's pretty fast, kind of like Ghost Rider's motorcycle. And of course, I insta-crash. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. If you have to race with a car, I mean, it doesn't hurt to use this one once you unlock it. I know a lot of people are probably going to be pretty excited to get the Punisher. So, he doesn't show up on the map very much. He shows up as races. So, just to keep your eyes open for certain races. He also has a truck, which, you know, also makes sense. I believe this one goes pretty...
Yo, taxi! Got places.
Excuse me, pretty fast, all things considered. So, Punisher is pretty cool. This is where you unlock Black Cat, right here. So look for the Statue of Liberty. Pyro. If you need a good flame character, you can use Pyro. If you want to. I usually use Human Torch if I need a fire character. Only because he can fly and Pyro cannot. Obviously, he shoots flames. So, Pyro, you know, whatever. Not a big deal to me. Super-Skrull is a really cool character in the game. He does fly like the Human Torch. He obviously has powers like the Human Torch. He obviously has powers like Thing. So it's almost like he's a big character. He shoots fire. And I'm pretty sure he has Mr. Fantastic's kind of animations. So, oh, there we go. Yeah, so he's got his... And there you can see how Deadpool regenerates. And he turns invisible. So, one of the cool things about Super-Skrull is you're able to use him basically to do everything that all 4 members of the Fantastic Four can do. So that's cool. I feel like he's probably one of the more valuable characters in the game in that regard. I don't know if he squeezes through grates. There's a very good chance that he does. And if he does, he could very well be your go-to character that you keep active. Because anytime you have a character that like does multiple things, kind of like Super-Skrull and definitely like Stan Lee, you know, it's pretty cool to just kind of keep them handy. Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, obviously, because of Dr. Octopus, he's got those tentacles on the back. Dan Slott is the writer of Superior Spider-Man. And I've never wanted to, like, send rage mail to people. But I know they're not... All right, spoiler alerts. Probably skip ahead for a minute or so if you haven't been reading Superior Spider-Man. Superior Spider-Man is Dr. Octopus in Peter Parker's body. Peter Parker is thought to be dead at this point. When Dr. Octopus was dying in Amazing Spider-Man number 700, I believe it was, or 701, something like that. When they ended the Spider-Man line, they had Dr. Octopus die, and they actually switched bodies. And, they're leaving Peter Parker dead. It's driving me nuts. Like, honestly, like, they've had so many opportunities just to bring Peter Parker back, and they haven't. And I know that, it's a comic book, there's going to be a build-up to it. As much as I'm mad about it, like, I can appreciate a guy like Dan Slott, like, putting himself out there. He's forever going to be the guy that killed Peter Parker, Like, I know he got a lot of vitriol over it. I don't know how he even kept his Twitter account open, but, like, I'm not happy with it, I just really feel like they could have, I don't know, I don't enjoy it. I get more agitated and anxious with it, than I do anything else, because I know they can't keep Peter Parker dead. Nobody stays dead forever. But I'm not even a big Spider-Man fan. That's kind of the crazy thing about it. There he is upside down. So obviously, you can use this version of Spider-Man if you want to. There's a lot of comic book fans out there, like myself, that don't really want him to exist. It's definitely an interesting story, but I don't know. I'm just ready for Peter Parker to be back. It's got people talking. Oh, by the way, he does not transform. So there it is. Next up is somebody who's becoming one of my favorite characters. It is Star-Lord. Star-Lord, obviously, Peter Quill, is the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He can fly. He can shoot while he flies. And he can crash. Generic Red X, which is a disappointment. And he does nothing with his B button press. So I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I love Peter Quill. I hate that helmet. I hate his new helmet. It's almost like a kind of a ripoff of Exo Manowar. I really just dislike that helmet. His old helmet was so much cooler. I get why they have this helmet here, because this is the new, Peter Quill. But his helmet should look so much cooler than this. So yeah. I use Star-Lord a lot just because I'm a fan of Star-Lord. There's really nothing super special about him. This is definitely one of those situations where I just really enjoy the character, so I use him. Obviously, his guns will break the silver bricks, the silver stuff. So, yeah. You may not use him very much, but I do, and I like it. Alright, so next up is Stan Lee. My favorite, not my favorite, the best character in the game for the most part. Obviously, he does Spider-Man stuff. You unlock Stan Lee by getting all the 50 Stan Lee in Peril missions. So he's part Spider-Man. He shoots fire from out of his glasses, and he has his own little Stan Lee circle. He shoots webs. And here it is, the best part. You get an achievement for this. So when you unlock Stan Lee, you get an achievement for rescuing the 50 Stan Lee in perils. You get an achievement for something else. I'm just going to go back and look. Yes, I'm only missing one achievement now for 100% completion. So you get collect all the Avengers. You get rescue Stan Lee from every peril. And then you get this one. Where... Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. It's not all the Avengers. Let me take that back. You get perform all big Lego figure transformations, rescue Stan Lee from every peril, and then turn Stan Lee into Stan Hulk. So there it is. Let me take that back. If you're like me, and Stan Lee is the last character that you unlock, then you'll get all 3 achievements at once. So obviously he does all the Hulk-like things.
Hulk smash!
And he talks like Hulk. So, you know, he's very, very... I just feel like he does a lot. He can be that big character. He can shoot fire. And he can web... Or not shoot fire. Yeah, shoot fire. And he can web swing through the city. And he's Stan Lee. Excelsior. And now we have... one of my least favorite characters in all of Marvel Comics. I get that she is an ironic character. I get that she is, you know, meant to be just ironic. It's a member of the Great Lake Avengers, Squirrel Girl. So yeah, she has her own animation, and she throws squirrels. And she counts it. I think she digs. So if you need somebody to dig, you know, she's a cute little female character. Definitely made for the kids. I feel like I understand why she's in the game, and I appreciate that she is in the game. Because she's the type of character you want in a Lego game, let's be honest. I think I had a bigger beef that she was in Marvel Heroes, the free-to-play MMO, just because there's so many other characters they could have done before her. I don't know. I know that there are a lot of Squirrel Girl fans out there, and I got some hate for hating on her in the Marvel Heroes video I did. But I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. Yeah, she beat Thanos and Doctor Doom and... somebody else, but whatever. Spider-Woman. You know, she actually does not shoot webs. She shoots, I believe, electricity. She's got her spider sense. And she flies instead of webbing, which is perfect. You know, it would have been so easy for them to make her do the web stuff, you know, to fly like that. But, you know, as we all know, she does not do that in the comics. So it's pretty comic accurate. I didn't use her that much, you know, not for lack of her being a good character. It's just not somebody I really cared to use all that much. Somebody that I did use a lot and love is Silver Surfer. He's got just a silver ring. He shoots fire. I am pretty sure he does the power cosmic. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Also, he flies with his surfboard. And let me tell you something about Silver Surfer and what you'll appreciate. The flying mechanics in this game are terrible. I think I've already kind of gone over that, and we've discussed that. But I can't say it enough. To unlock the Silver Surfer, you have to do air races. And I don't know how I finished it. And I feel like one of the reasons why so many people wanted to see his videos, and one of the reasons why his videos are doing so well, is because he's so hard to get. He's hard to get for the wrong reasons. Because you have to fight with the mechanics of flight in order to get him. But he is an awesome looking character. I'm not a huge Silver Surfer fan per se, but I do appreciate and like him. So yeah. Silver Samurai obviously was just in the Wolverine, which, you know, I usually watch every comic movie. I'm not a big movie person, but I watch them all, and I still have not seen the Wolverine, and that like kind of baffles me. I'll wait till it's on DVD. Obviously, he's a warrior. He's got his sword. He does throw it, and he has a cool little animation when he throws it. But that's about it. So you probably won't use him much unless you just kind of feel like it. But he's pretty cool. Shocker does not fly. Not that he really should. He's got his own animation. And the way it shoots his electricity is pretty cool. You know, I'm actually not even sure if that's electricity. It might actually count as fire. Gotta stretch my legs. But he's a pretty cool looking guy. I mean, obviously, remember the Sinister Six. So you get the Sinister Six achievement at some point. Here we have a shield agent. He shoots a gun. That's about all you really need to see of him. She-Hulk is a lot like Power Man in that she's not a big character, but she's treated as a big character. She does all the things that big characters do. She's got the clap. She does not change. So, yeah. I did not use her very much, but you may. Next up, we have a minion, a Sandman Goon. I can appreciate the fact that he has a musket and shoots that way. All right, whatever. This is probably one of the only goons that I actually used on my own, because there are a couple Sandman type missions where you have to actually like go under stuff. Speaking of Sandman, he is next. And I don't believe he flies, so let's see if I can do something here. He does transform into a sandcastle. And the animation to get him back is pretty cool. Obviously, he's got his fists, so that's pretty awesome. And he turns into Megatron. So there we go. Sandman, they did a really good job with Sandman. I didn't use him that much, but, it's really cool. There are a few things, kind of like Venom, where, he has to go through the sand to get to something like a Deadpool brick or a Stanley in Peril. But, yeah, they did a really good job with Sandman. Yeah, and he can just shoot out of his hands that way. Or if you want to go all Megatron, you can transform him into a cannon. It'd be cool if they had the Transformers sound when he did that. So, moving right along, because we're chugging, we've got Sabretooth, who is basically a clone of Beast, or Beast is a clone of Sabretooth. He runs like an animal. He is an animal. He does some digging stuff. Actually, I think there's something I can dig up down here. Yeah, right here. And here's some of his fighting stuff. I wish I could do Deadpool's action like that. But it just, for whatever reason, won't do it. Whenever I'm looking for something to fight, I come to the raft, because this is like one of the only places in the free roam where people spawn and attack you. It's kind of unlike Batman, Lego Batman 2, where a lot of the goons will kind of come after you in the city. I kind of liked that as far as making videos and stuff like that was concerned. He doesn't really do anything special here. I think he does have the feral scent where he can, search for hidden objects. So that's Sabretooth, obviously a really popular character. Rock's on guard. He shoots a gun. He looks like a thug. And who cares? Ronan the Accuser. I like Ronan. I've grown to like him due to reading a lot of the Nova stuff. Realm of Kings, War of Kings. I actually have a Nova mini bust. He does shoot out of his staff. you know, Ronan was initially kind of a bitch in some of the stories. He just kind of puts his staff away with B. If you hold down, he does have that kind of electro look. I feel like he should fly for some reason, but he doesn't. He was kind of a bitch in the stories originally, but I think he's married to one of the Inhumans. It was supposed to bring the Kree and the Shi'ar together. I believe that's who it was. So he's cool. A little confusing to get. You get him in Central Park, like right around here. He's kind of like on the side of a hill. I don't know. You'll see it in the video. Everybody's favorite, Rocket Raccoon. He shoots a big rocket launcher. He actually gives you quests, and you unlock Star-Lord by doing his quests. So that's pretty cool. Does not do a whole heck of a lot else. Does not look like he digs. And he jumps. Obviously counts towards the animal achievement. I wish he had some kind of witty one-liners to say, because I feel like he's a really hilarious character in the comics. He does not have his own special animation when you try to lock onto something. He has an English accent, and apparently he dances. Yeah. So there's Rocket Raccoon. We've got 3 more to go. Rhino, obviously a big character. A lot like, you know, Juggernaut. You know, he's got this running action. And he swings his head like the Juggernaut. But he basically is the Juggernaut. Or Juggernaut is Rhino. So they kind of do the same things. And his horn kind of attacks the ground. You know, you can hold down B, and he'll pick up a rock from the ground and throw it. So that's kind of cool. I didn't really use Rhino very much. Red Skull, I also did not use very much. He's got his Hydra kind of logo. He shoots a gun. And B and Circle do nothing. So I like his pose. He just kind of stands there and looks menacing with his arms behind his back. You know, it's about what you would expect him to do. Then he starts doing push-ups. Because he's a super soldier. So, with one arm. Last for this video is the Red Hulk. Obviously, I'm blanking. The general dude, I can't think of his name. I'm obviously Googling it. Thaddeus Ross, General Ross. So, he does turn into General Ross. He started off as like a Hulk bad guy, and now he's kind of just... He's still a bad dude, but he's kind of branched off onto his own. He's the leader of the Thunderbolts, the new Thunderbolts. Obviously not because anybody likes him, but more because he kind of blackmails them into being in his little clan. So I guess it's kind of apropos that we're ending with Red Hulk and Deadpool, my cuckoo clock. I hate that thing. I don't even know why we still have it. So, yeah, that's the Red Hulk. He claps. And he just sits there and rages. When you unlock him, you kind of unlock him the same way you do the mini Sentinel. And you kind of have to fight with him to get, you know, to actually get him. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool way to do it. So that brings us to an end to part 3 of the video. Another 50-minute video in the books. Crazy. Part 4 is going to be much shorter because there aren't many characters left. I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed my banter. And, yeah, this has been a lot of fun. The people, multiple people asked me to do this. And it was such a great idea. I'm having so much fun doing it. So thank you for your support. Like it if you can. I appreciate you. Thank you if you're a subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. We'll catch you later.